Welcome back, everyone. This is Dave from the Core Productions Deep Dive TV podcast with my co-host Stacie. Today, we are joined by special guest Aryelle Morrison, who plays Deputy Rogers on Revival, and Jimmy MacKinley, who plays Deputy Fitzpatrick. They both can be seen Revival Season 1.
Oh, yeah. And a spoiler alert, we are going to be talking all about Season 1. So if you haven't watched Season 1 of Revival in its entirety, make sure you go check that out, and then come back and finish this video. If you're in the US, you can watch Revival on Sci-Fi and Peacock. And if you're in Canada, you can watch it on CTV and Crave. But we don't want to spoil you. So make sure you watch Season 1 and then come back and give us a listen.
All right, we're going to start with introductions. Aryelle, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure thing. Yeah, I'm an actress and I hail from New Brunswick, but we were just discussing I just moved to Toronto 2 months ago. I'm in the process of moving into my first apartment. I've got stuff everywhere. And yeah, I've been in love with being on stage since I was a kid. Though my discipline of choice has changed over the years. I did dance as a kid, trained in classical music, and was a songwriter, like pop songs for the start of my career, and that led to some opportunities doing collective creation theater where you improvise scenes and you create a play out of that, and some theatrical writing. And then at some point along the way I got some opportunities on camera and doing some voiceover work, and it's just kind of been a progression of all different types of performing, and I love all the different types, so I'm open to doing all sorts of different projects. And Revival made me realize that, if I can be in this type of production, let's go. So I've been in Toronto taking coachings and auditioning for my next project, and really excited about where my career is going to go.
All right, Jimmy.
I'm not good at these things.
I mean, neither am I, really.
Yeah. Born and raised in Miramichi, New Brunswick, which is about 200 kilometers north of where Revival filmed. So born and raised, I still live in New Brunswick. I still live in Miramichi. I always had a big interest in film acting. Not so much stage acting, since I saw Fred Penner on TV when I was 4 years old. And when I went to university, I started to audition for anything that was at University of New Brunswick, film production wise. Just started my career there, if you can call it that. And then in 2011, I started doing stand-up comedy. So there was an open mic that was at a local bar in Fredericton. Started doing that. Did it every week. Did it every month. Went to St. John a lot for open mics. And my cat is literally scratching at the door right now. My girlfriend is taking the cat. That's good. Can you put him in there right now? He's vocalizing. Thank you very much. He likes to interrupt life stories that I'm telling. Thank you. Can you close the door? You've not gotten him yet. He's still out here wreaking havoc. Sorry. Hope this podcast is 3 hours long. Can you please?
I mean, it can be. It's up to you guys.
Can you make an appearance?
A giant orange cat that needs to be fed 8,000 times a day. Okay, thank you. So there was I. So I was going into dentistry. So I started doing stand-up comedy in late 2011. Things started to get New Brunswick busy. In 2014, 2015, I started doing tours with Jerry D. He was doing a New Brunswick tour, so I was lucky enough to get on that. Started doing some work with CBC, and then Aaron Hennessy in Halifax got me back into. Aaron's great. So in Halifax, Nova Scotia, sent me an audition, which I didn't get. It was for a film called Spinster, but that really got me back into, the hunger and the drive to get back into film acting. So I did everything I could to try to get an agent, which is not easy. It's not like the 50s. You just walk into an office and slam your fist on the floor, on the desk, and say, "I'm your man." It's it was tough. And so I got back into that, got that machine working a little bit. And then, 5 years later, get a role on Trailer Park Boys. And then just kept going. And at the same time, substitute teaching. That's pretty much what I do, teaching and tutoring here in Miramichi. Because acting is not a full-time job for 99% of Canadian actors,
especially in New Brunswick. Oh my God!
I moved to northern New Brunswick where nothing ever happens. You have to create your own opportunities. So that machine was slowly working, and the gears were moving a little bit. And then a really good friend of mine who passed away a couple of years ago, Mark Harnett, created a television show on Bell 5 called The Canoe Project, and hired me to be the lead in that. And we got 2 seasons out of that. And then Bell called me to do, they said, we liked your performance. I looked like Gene Wilder. My hair looked like a highly GMO'd cauliflower bush at the time. So they thought that was funny, and they enjoyed my performance. So they offered me to create my own show in my hometown of Miramichi, which later became Odons. So which the second season of Odons comes out this October. And then that sort of snowballed into another climate change show that I host called Jimmy Saves the World. So my whole life for acting has been condensed into the past pretty much 3 to 4 years with Bell 5. So I'm very appreciative to that. It allows me to do what I've always wanted to do what I love. So I have a really good home there. And then Revival came along, and I didn't think there was any parts left. So I was auditioning with Donna Ray Gibbs, one of our casting directors, phenomenal person. And so I reached out and I said, I'd like to submit my name. So I was reading the sides with parts that have already been cast. So, I auditioned for like 4 or 5 parts. Never heard back, and then I heard back a little bit, and then they thankfully and luckily they offered me the small role of Deputy Fitzpatrick, which I was happy to get. I would have served cupcakes out of focus in the background in a horror television show filmed in my home province. I mean, like, I'm a horror guy. All my girlfriend and I watch is horror films. We're watching one right now. Actually, no, we're not. But we would be if this podcast wasn't happening right now. But yeah, so I mean, like, I needed a job in this show, and it was a dream come true, albeit a small role. I was thrilled to be every second, even when they didn't need me. I was there, dressed in a police uniform. They're like, please go home. But Jimmy, we wrapped you 8 hours ago. How did you still have the gun? No, but I was very lucky and very fortunate to get this role. And it's been a dream come true.
What role did you read for? Was it Randy?
I read for Randy. I think it was already cast at the time, but it was a good opportunity to get me on tape with some good emotional up and downs.
Yeah, we've heard everybody read that scene.
Yeah, no, and it was cast perfectly. I'm not sure the actor's name, but I never had any scenes with him, but I would have loved to have done so.
Graham, yeah, something.
Anyway,
Graham Barrett, I think.
Don't know where he's
something
from.
Like that.
Yeah,
yeah, he's amazing. And that was obviously cast perfectly. Read for Aaron. Read for one of the Czech brothers. I think I read for the dog that's in one episode. A few characters, and as an actor, what I've learned in the past few years is, obviously, like Aryelle touched on earlier, like, it's very tough, and it is. And but if you're auditioning, you're a working actor. So a lot of people would think like an audition is like a job interview for like a normal job. Like, I got to go for a job interview. I'm trying to get that job. But if you're auditioning, you're giving them an option, and it's hard not to hold on to it and touch base with your agent. Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? Or the casting director bothering them all the time, or bothering the producers. And I do that less and less now, but I used to do it more years ago. But it's if you're getting the auditions and you're reading, you're putting yourself on tape, putting yourself in front of casting directors and producers and directors, you're a working actor. It's unpaid. It's the unpaid portion of the job, but it's it's a part of the job that we're lucky to be able
And
to
at
do.
some point, you get to the point where you're like, I already know I'm not going to book it, but I'm happy to do the audition.
No, always do it. You ever read something and you're like, that's going to the guy that's a little handsomer than me that lives in Halifax. but that's the Miramichi version or Halifax version of what I'm doing. But always do it. Always take every opportunity. Give it 100%.
Aryelle, he was just talking about the casting process for himself. What was your audition process like?
Sure, yeah. Well, Donna Ray Gibbs is the center of New Brunswick film casting. So I had run into her a few times doing some commercials and booked some work through her. So when a revival was coming around, she wrote me directly and was like, hey, there's this audition. You need to submit to it. And they were floating around a casting document with Dana and Andy McQueen's character. I'm forgetting his name off the top of my head right now. And I think Wayne as well. Obviously, I think all of us were already cast. I don't know why they were.
What, you didn't get the role of Wayne?
I didn't get the role of Wayne, damn it. No, but I read for Dana, and it's a really good scene. I was like happy to get the opportunity to work on. It was M and her in the car after she finds M sleeping on the side of the road. Oh, sorry. So yeah, a really nice scene and one of the longer auditions I'd done at that point. So yeah, and then I forgot about it completely. I was cast like in August and we were going to shoot in September. So I think I was like a last minute audition. So I completely had forgotten about it. And then Donna Ray was like, can I call you? You got this role. So yeah, and then it's been a really fun since.
Well, by the end of the season, basically you two are the only ones that are proven not to be corrupt and or dead.
Yeah.
So I think there's a very good chance that the two of you could get more screen time, presuming there's a season 2.
Yeah. Yeah. It is funny that they cast the New Brunswickers as the goody guys. Does that say something about us?
I think it was a contractual tax credit obligation. Like we need to keep the union New Brunswick actors alive. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, Fitzpatrick was on my suspects list for a while.
Yeah, was he?
I mean, I did go through every mail on the call sheet at some point, but I was like, we don't know a whole lot about him. He's just kind of there in the background all the time. We hear his name a lot. There could be something there, but no, you turned out to be one of the good ones so far.
Yeah, you could be you could be the big mob boss in New York. You
guys know more than me. Yeah.
You didn't suspect Rogers at all?
Well, once we were looking for, who was Horn Man.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
So we knew that had to be a male character.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you guys both watched the show, I'm assuming, as fans, and have seen the whole season before we ruin the whole thing for you.
Yeah. Surprise, is anyone else? Just watched the final episode Friday morning on Crave. Yeah.
How much of the overall story did you both know while you were filming, versus what surprised you when you were watching it?
Jimmy, do you want to go?
To be honest, hopefully, I don't know if this is going to answer the question completely. I was surprised as I was reading the script when we were filming last fall, and what I saw on screen, I was surprised of the. And as a comedian, I was, happy, maybe, selfishly happy to see it, but it was a lot funnier than I thought. There's a lot of levity with, especially David's character, Wayne, Sheriff Wayne, his character with his relationship with Dana. I found it very comedic because when I was reading, I was like, is it? Because I was talking to Mark Little, we were in a car we were going to do the flashback scene where we're arresting Jesse at the smallest house in St. John with the largest person I've ever met, Brandon Oates. Yeah, and I was like, "Who lives here now?" And lawn gnomes own the house, and so I was looking at Mark, and I was like, "Is this like kind of a like horromedy, like a horror? It's 70% horror, and there's like 30% a great degree of comedy in it." So I was happy and surprised to see that, because it's something like The Walking Dead and you see these other sort of I know it's not a zombie show, but you know, for lack of a better noun, you know, a horror comedy zombie show. There's not a lot of those right now, so I was happy to see that. So that was the biggest surprise for me. Is oh, there's a lot more levity than I thought there was going to be in, because I do have the compendium here, which I've not read yet, but is beautifully illustrated. But it's heavier than my cat, which is in the room right now. But that's actually my cat. Yeah, so that was the biggest surprise for me, is to learn that.
Well, I just want to point out, one of the first things that I noticed about you, Jimmy, was the fact that you had Gizmo on your other shoulder.
Yeah. I didn't know what to put behind me.
Right, that way.
Yeah, this was yeah. Oh, yes, opposite. I didn't know what to put behind me. It was like, what do I do? I asked my girlfriend. I was like, should I put something behind me? She's like, probably not. Like, don't do anything. Just be you. I was like, I need to put something behind me for my child.
Gizmo was a good choice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and the book. Yeah. Which is
Aryelle, did you want to answer that question about what you think about this overall story?
Yeah. Well, the nice thing about Revival is they actually sent us the entire script. So we actually got a sense of the overall story and knew exactly what the stakes were in any given scene. It's not a given that every show is going to do that. I've done some French TVs where you literally get your scene and you have no idea if you're the bad guy or the good guy. I hope that they tell people that, like, if you're the bad guy, like when you get to set. But my roles, like, I didn't have any intel, so that was really nice. But there were a lot of different revisions, and after a while, they sent everybody each revision, and I couldn't keep up with it. After a while, I was just like, I'm going to read what applies to me, and what the rest I'm going to let go of. Yeah, the tone is beautifully executed, and it plays a lot funnier than it necessarily read, as Jimmy was pointing out. Seeing, I guess, as someone who's when you do the scenes, you don't know what angles they're going to take and how they're going to edit it. So that was cool. I was like, oh, what take of my work is going to end up in the final cut? That was really cool to watch, and I'm still getting used to that. Yeah, I think that's what I have to say about that.
At one point, Stacie was saying in the podcast that you probably should have been leading the investigation over Brent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because she's not corrupt, but we don't know if he's corrupt.
She seemed, at that point, we didn't know he was corrupt. I think she was basically just saying you seem more competent than Brent did.
Oh,
yeah. All the corrupt cops also seemed very incompetent
at the same time.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, well, the competence of Rogers, I'm glad that comes across, because I like to think that she is competent, and maybe just like a little bit younger than the other deputies, so kind of making her mark still on the force. Like a very good worker, you give her a task, she's going to deliver, which is already more than what most of the world does these days. But maybe hasn't had her like breakthrough case and made a name for herself. That's what I imagine is her role.
I love the one line where she goes in to see Wayne and she's like, you know, I can do more than paperwork.
Well, it was really important to me that she'd just stand up for herself, especially in like a male dominated type of work field. I don't know if it was like an intentional thing or not to have a patriarchal kind of hierarchy within the Corps or not. So that was important to me, just as a woman nowadays.
Okay, so I think you sort of answered this question. Aryelle did anyway. So did you guys have like backstories in your minds about your characters that you went into scenes with, or were you told anything about your characters?
Go, Jimmy. I was
Uh,
just talking for a bit. Or I can
um,
answer if you want to think for a second.
no, no.
Either way.
I'll just start talking. No, not really. I think, but you do think I wasn't given notes, but I do. Any actor thinks about where their character came from, whether you're talking about their life, their backstory, or like the scene that they might be coming from and where they're going. I think Fitzy was involved in like a bad pyramid scheme in the early 2000s. No, I'm kidding. He lost all his money and then joined the force. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Aryelle, like I think for the most part, our characters would have been part of the town. Probably they're probably born there. Everyone sort of knows each other's, sort of like the town that I'm from. And I think that's why my character is appropriately physically proportioned to what a cop would look like in a Fargo type show, or the movie Signs, like a small town cop, a guy that looks like he shouldn't be a cop, but he's a cop anyway. Everyone knows each other. I think Fitzy and Rogers and Dana and M probably would have grown up together. I know M's a little bit younger, but they all know each other, and Fitzy, that's why he has a nickname. They probably knew him from before, or maybe he's been on the force for, I think, 10 plus years. That's what I created in my own mind about my character, to sort of like a launching pad into the role, albeit small, but to try to breathe some life into that character. Maybe I'm talking too much. Maybe Aryelle should start talking. I don't know.
No, you're saying.
Now I'm saying things I shouldn't be saying. I don't know.
No. I think everything you're saying is relevant.
Yeah.
It's all good
Yeah.
stuff, Jim.
Yeah,
thanks.
totally. What I would add to that, I think you have to give yourself some kind of context to work in, like a little sandbox that you draw for yourself. And especially, I don't know about you, Jamie. I know Rogers didn't really have a proper character description, because I asked for one. I was like, I didn't audition for this character. I'm assigned this character. Who is she? And they were like, meh. And as an actor, you didn't ask. As an actor, like, well, I would tell people that, and they're like, "Oh, that's great. She can be anyone." And in a way, there's a freedom to it. In a way, it's terrifying though, because it's like I don't have the first clue, and the script doesn't give a lot of indication of who these people are. So yeah, you have to give yourself some context. But you hear about actors doing like a whole background, and I think this is what your question actually is, like, did you write like from the day she was born, and then there was a thing that happened when she was 4 that was really, really crucial. I don't go like that in detail. I will admit. Everyone has their own process, and that's just not part of mine. But yeah.
Was a first name ever thrown around for either of your characters?
No. No, I didn't even give myself one.
I thought his name was Deputy. Yeah, I thought. That's a.
It's like Muhammad. They're all deputies.
That's gonna get us in trouble. No.
Or Mary or Joseph. Is that better?
Deputy was the guy's name. That's why it's capitalized. No first name yet. Anyway, just the nickname Fitzy. That's all I needed.
Maybe that is his first name, Fitzy Fitzpatrick.
Parents didn't like him too much.
Horrible parents. That's why he joined the force. Yeah.
Oh. Aryelle, what was your favorite scene to shoot that you were in?
My favorite scene to shoot. I liked holding guns. I didn't get to very, very often, but like running into the barn to find Arlene dead, that was cool. I took a bunch of photos with my gun and sent them to my brother because I figured he'd appreciate it. And then I got in trouble because I was told I wasn't supposed to be holding it, not on camera. So yeah, that was cool. Anything where like you get to do action as a strong like a woman, that just gets me. So that was fun.
Jimmy, what about you?
Guns as well. Guns, always guns. Honestly, though, it is one of the scenes. No dialogue. And it's a wide shot of me coming in. You can't even know it's me, other than the cauliflower Gene Wilder afro that I'm sporting at the time. Fitzy gets his hair permed every morning, and no one knows that. When we arrest Stephen Ogg's character Blaine.
Okay.
When we
Okay.
Yeah, from both
when you
ends.
rescue Ibrahim.
Exactly, when we're arresting, when we're saving Andy's character. That was a really cool scene, and also kind of funny. There was a gun wrangler. I can't remember his name, Aryelle. Guy with the mustache.
I know who you mean, but I don't remember his name. Sorry, guy with the mustache.
Of our makeup artist.
Good enough.
Also, I can't remember her name. Tara. She's a wonderful person. Can't remember anyone's name right now, other than my cats. He was the gun wrangler, and I was holding the gun wrong. We didn't go to boot camp. It was like Saving Private Ryan, right? I was hired. They put the gun belt on me. It took like 3 people to put it on me. Yeah, and a lot of heavy equipment, and that was really cool to learn how to do the proper like trigger finger, to not have your finger on the trigger when you're going in, and mine was every time, and I'm the cop leading the brigade in, and that was really cool. And also what was funny is I couldn't get the handcuffs out of the handcuff holster, which I'm sure there's a word for. If you're an actual police officer, you would know. There's a little wallet that the handcuffs go in, and I remember trying to get them out, and Stephen Ogg was like, "Have you never done this before?" I said, "No, I have never done anything before, let alone arrest you, the lead from Grand Theft Auto." And I'm trying to get them out, and it took so long that it was a wide shot anyway, so it didn't matter that Fitzy, all they needed was me reaching and putting his hands down, and then the crisp sound of handcuffs going over somebody, and I'm like, thank God for editing and ADR and post-production, because there's no way I'm digging these handcuffs out of this little pocket. I don't think they were built properly for the handcuffs. And that was my was the question, what was your biggest stressor of someone? That was an incredibly fun scene. Another scene with Amanda Rowe, our first director from the first block. She gave me a line which didn't make it into the finals, but day 1, September 9th of last year, it was really cool. Like I didn't have any dialogue in that scene, but she still mic'd me up. And she said, "You know what? I'm going to give you a beat." And I'm like, "That's really cool. That's really nice." I was working with her. She gave me a funny beat that maybe it didn't end up working with little Cooper, the kid, and that was really cool. That was my first. It was like, oh my God, I'm on a big show, and they gave me an extra beat, and that really got me energized, and that was really cool. Just working on the whole show was great. Every scene was great. All of them.
I would like to also add to my answer. Amanda was great. You mentioned that scene where I had the line about I can do more than paperwork. So I had expressed my discomfort with that scene. It was originally written that she goes just like he goes, "Get me that report," and she's like, "Yes, sir," and just like kind of subserviently just leaves. So I talked to her, and she was really gracious and going like, "Yeah, we can probably get you like a different line. Let me talk to the writers." And then I basically ended up just improvising different lines every time I went in, especially when the footage wasn't on me, which I wish they had gotten more footage of me actually saying the different lines, just to have fun with it. And I was really grateful that she gave me like the freedom and a little bit of trust to make that moment mine.
Cool.
What were some of the other versions of that line that you had? You remember any of them?
I'm good with a gun, not just with a stapler. Okay, I'll put on a pencil skirt next time I come and give you a report. You have a secretary, just like funny. I don't know if they're really that funny, but I enjoyed coming up with them.
I like the first one.
I like that one too.
Yeah. Okay. There's an alternate version in the world. In the universe.
DVD second disc. Yeah.
So we talked about your favorite scenes that you guys were actually in. Is there a favorite scene that you guys have overall as a fan of the show?
To be honest, I love there's a few. I really love the last scene in the first episode, the "Don't tell Dad" line.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool. The scene outside, is it Riverside, with Wayne and the mayor, the actor that plays
Conrad. Yeah.
Conrad Coates.
Conrad Coates. Yes, indeed, wonderful person. You know, when the whole thing comes out about he's having the affair with Dilish's wife.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It's really powerful. And the ending from the finale where, you know, they save their father, that's really powerful. The flashbacks with Em and her mom in the prison cell in the penitentiary, that was really cool. But yeah, I love that first. It's almost funny too. Again, I'm bringing the comedy back to it. It's she looks up, you know, "Don't tell Dad," and then the end credits with the wonderful song starts to play. Like, that was really powerful for me. I like that scene.
Totally. I'm similarly on the comedy bent. I love, this is so sappy. I like all the father-daughter scenes between Dana and Wayne. The way they fight and bicker, just, I love it. Specifically the scenes where they're at her kitchen table unraveling the Black Deer case, and then they
Yes.
have to do their little diversion where they mock fight, and she like throws a lamp on the ground, and they say things
Oh,
that
that was,
hurt each
yeah,
other's feelings.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. "Don't shoot me." Yeah, that was really
yeah.
cool. And when Wayne was drinking at the kitchen table, and
You bitch.
yeah, yeah, it was so great. Yeah,
Yeah, that and any of the scenes where Andy's like bumbling goofily through his
his
lines.
line.
Great.
Okay, so I'm going to take all that, not all of it back, but I'm going to add one. It was when it was episode 1 or 2 when Dana says "Scout's honor." She
Oh,
goes,
yes. Yeah.
"Yeah, Scout's honor,"
I didn't
and
even
then
notice they're doing that.
Andy's comedic timing is so great. He looks and he says, "That's not what that is," but okay. And then he gets back to work. Like, that's the
Yeah.
Vulcan sign.
Yeah.
Right.
It was,
It's funny
Scout's
because
honor is
she's
like, that's
also
not what that is, but
yeah.
okay. That I thought that was so beautifully executed. Yeah.
yeah, that
Those
was in
little things,
episode
yeah.
1, when she first goes to the CDC lab to talk to him.
Okay. So
Mhm.
that's funny because she also was in, well, she is currently in Star Trek Strange New World. So that's kind of
Yes.
fun.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. Probably an Easter egg.
And I missed it entirely. Wow.
It was in my notes, but a lot of the
Mm.
stuff in my notes doesn't make it because he talks too fast. Was there anyone that you didn't get a chance to work with or much time to work with, either cast or crew, that you'd love to get a chance to spend some time with in the future?
Mm.
You guys, I think you both pretty much worked with the same people, like all the cops a lot.
Yeah,
You
we were
didn't
a
get
band
to
of
really
cops.
interact with the other people.
I particularly love Romy. Everybody was nice, but I think she's just like the sweetest human being, and our characters don't really cross that much. So I would love the opportunity to just like work opposite her as an actor. And she's so talented, and she cries so beautifully on screen. And yeah, I feel like that would be a really, really nice opportunity. And Catherine King Sao too. Um, I saw her off screen some, but I don't think we did anything on screen together. Conrad too. I got to spend some time with off screen behind the scenes, but not really act opposite. I could probably just name most of the cast.
The cast, basically. Yeah.
It's great. It's a great cast.
Yeah. I had a meaty scene with Andy, which ended up getting chopped up. Where he comes and finds out where the trucks are going after, what's his name? I think I'm tired because I'm forgetting everybody's name. Mark Little's character,
Brent.
Brent.
Brent. When after Brent's murdered, So I had a nice scene with him. That was really a joy to do.
Speaking of that scene, put your mindset in your character for a moment. So you work with these people for a while now. You see Dana
Mhm.
coming out wearing the crazy outfit that she's wearing. When you go into the room, you see a coworker of yours that you've known for quite some time murdered, basically having had his head bashed in with a TV. How do you
Yep.
react to that? I totally want to see that scene.
You you want to see that right now?
No. You don't have to act it out. I'm just saying how you react to that.
How do you react? I just another day in the life, just really chill. No, absolute shock, absolute shock.
I'm sorry we didn't
Disbelief.
get actually get to see that on film. Your reaction to all that.
Oh, that moment. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You got her a little shell shocked in the scene with
Mhm.
Andy, but yeah. I don't know. I was going into that going like, how is she even functional? Honestly, I even talked to the director. I was like how easily is she forming sentences right now? Like,
Mm.
why is she even on duty?
She's
Like, is
trained.
there nobody who could
Yeah.
come into town from elsewhere to take over? Like, talk about confidence. She's like working
And
right
Fitzy's
through
at
it.
home.
What
Fitzy's
was
at
that?
home.
Fitzy's at home.
Fitzy's at home, uh, marathoning Survivor or something. I don't know where he was during that. But he was not there, so
Hmm.
you have to react to it. Thankfully.
So, I'm sorry, I switched tracks on you guys. I forgot to give you a chance, Jimmy, a chance to answer that
Oh,
question. If there's someone you'd rather, or that you haven't had a chance to work with,
oh,
that you'd like to work with.
oh, right. Well, I think I'm gonna borrow Ariel's answers. Obviously, in real life, I got to spend some time with her at the Christmas party, and that she's a wonderful human being. Um, yeah, like more scenes. If I ever had an opportunity, Fitzy comes back for season two. Would love to have more screen time with her, more with Andy. I love working with him. He's a wonderful human. Um, who didn't die that can come back? Maybe in a flashback scene with Mark Little.
First
When
twin brother.
we're just, yeah, well, yes, exactly. Right. I forgot about that. Or Mark's twin brother, Fark, whatever the name will be.
Anytime they tell us there's a twin,
Yeah.
they got to have plans for that to come in at
I
some
know,
point.
I know. No, but also, who else? Lenore Zahn. Only selfishly because I grew up watching after school. I would watch X-Men, and
Mhm.
she is the voice of Rogue from the original animated series. And I got to have lunch with her a couple of times on set, and she's a wonderful human. Didn't have much. We were in the same scenes. They were wides and that a little bit here and there, but would love to. Yeah, anyone and everyone. Like I had a great time. Great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go to karaoke with a bunch of us to the
Yeah, we
Art?
did one night, and
Yeah.
you sang, and I was too chicken to sing anything, and then Mark
Yeah.
sang, yeah, and then you sang, and Glenn.
Glenn's a ham at karaoke.
I know, and we went out another time to O'Leary's, and
Oh,
then
you did.
yeah, and it was like it was getting late. And then I was talking to my agent, and she's like, I was like, yeah, Glenn and I are just out. She's like, you guys got to go to bed. And then I said, I know we're gonna go soon. And I said, you guys going to bed? And I went, yeah. And I looked up, and Glenn was on stage singing with the guitar, like they made up their minds, and they start. And I was like, yeah, we're on our way out now. He's a hoot. I love him. Yeah, it was.
Mhm.
Glenn is a musician, right?
He is.
Yeah.
He's a
I have that
musician,
right.
wonderful actor. Yeah, had a great
Yeah.
time with everybody.
What song did you sing, Aryelle?
Uh, I sang "You and I" by Lady Gaga. It's a country song, and I don't know why. I don't love country music, but for some reason that song just gets me. I think I sang the Beatles' "Oh Darling." I sang something else too, but yeah, I have a few like go-tos that I'm like, I don't actually love karaoke. I like to have practiced ahead of time. So the songs that I usually play are things that I've accompanied myself on the piano, and I used to like perform. So I have a little safety net.
I can't even spell karaoke, so
Well,
yeah,
Aryelle, you're the singer and
yeah,
he's the comedian. I'm sensing a possibility of a future show here.
yeah. Spinoff, Rogers and Fitzy, save the world.
It sounds nice.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers.
we could fight crime.
So you guys filmed in 5 blocks.
No.
What? Oh, five
Two blocks of
five
blocks.
episode
Blocks of
blocks is
five.
what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Yes. The first half with Amanda Rowe, the second half with Samir Remen. What was that like? Was that crazy?
Like filming that many episodes in one block. Most shows we cover, they do blocks of 2 episodes.
Mhm.
This is the first time we've ever seen where they do 5 episodes in one block. And I don't know, to us, that sounds very hectic and crazy.
Yeah, you had to like really make sure you knew where you were in any given day. I think it's also hard because the story is very complicated.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of details to keep track of, even if the story was like chronological. So the flashbacks just make it so much harder. Um, yeah, I'm the type when I was reading it the first time that I would like, okay, wait a second, let me take some notes and like try to figure this out. I know at one point they sent out a summary for people to be like, okay, this is the order of the events. But at that point, I personally had already kind of mapped it for myself because I'm just that kind of person. But yeah, it was confusing. Yeah, for sure.
I was on set maybe 9 or 10 days over 2 months, 60 days of filming, 10 or 11 days. My biggest stressor was don't gain any weight. My first day was September 9th. And then I wasn't on set again until October 15th, 16th. So, which the next scene chronologically took place actually before. So I filmed one scene. The next scene I filmed a month later took place 5 minutes before the scene I filmed a month prior. So I was like, my hair, and they wouldn't cut my hair or make it any different. They just tucked the curls in. And every once in a while, they would sideshow bob out. Every once in a while, they would spring out like a whack-a-mole. And I was like, I got to look the same. But yeah, like Aryelle said, like just knowing where you are in the story and where you're coming from, where you're going. But again, I mean, my part was very small, so it wasn't that difficult to navigate. Like this is my role. And Aryelle said, like they sent us the entirety of the scripts. They were changing by the week, but it was I had enough information to be confident enough to go on set to know what I was doing. Yeah, I felt like I was in good hands with both directors.
That too, yeah. And I guess you hear actors talk about how, oh yeah, I did a movie with XYZ famous person, but we never crossed paths because you're in on different days. The whole
Yeah,
like
you're in a movie
going,
with this guy. Yeah,
yeah, never met him, but yeah, technically, coming from like the theater world where you're like a family, you're together for like the rehearsal period intensely for a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and then you're doing the show on repeat.
Yeah.
You get really, really close and you spend a lot of time with people. TV is a whole different like beast on the social front. I think the cops, we had a chemistry and had the opportunity to like hang out. But the rest of it, yeah, there's lots of people we didn't get to meet.
So what's your opinion of Wayne as a boss?
Toxic.
I don't think it speaks very well for him that half of his police force is either corrupt or dead by the end of the season. So yeah.
No, exactly right. What's going on?
Yeah.
Fitzy's just happy to have a job, as is Jimmy McKinley. I will tell you one story, if I can not change the subject, but David James Elliott, day one, September 9th, last year, I'm nervous all the time, usually, and shockingly. And he was in uniform. I know he's famous, like he's very accomplished actor. And I remember I was like, here's my opportunity. I was dressed in my police uniform. He was dressed in his police uniform. He had cowboy boots on with his character. I was like, oh my God, he got cowboy boots. He's the sheriff. And I went to introduce myself to him. I had a ham sandwich in one hand. And I said, here's my chance. Okay, Fitzy, get it together. And then I walked over and I'm like, just be cool. And he was very nice. But when I was walking over, my hand was extended in a handshake for too long. Like I was walking and my hand was extended too long. And I'm walking over, and then that was weird. And then I asked him, I said, David James Elliott? Like it looked like I was asking him if I was David James Elliott. And he went, what? And then he shook my hand. I met him. And yeah, we get along well. But that's my story of meeting him. But yeah, happy to be his subordinate.
I'm a pretty awkward person myself, so I do appreciate that story, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to get that off my chest. Yeah.
Aryelle, do you have any David James Elliott stories you want to share?
Do I have any David James Elliott stories? He told me to move to Hollywood. We didn't talk very much, and then we were like waiting in his office because he was gonna like walk out of the office to enter into a scene, and I guess they were gonna see that we were like talking in the other room or something. So we had this like quiet moment where it's like, and he's like, "So you're a New Brunswicker, and you want to do this? You should move."
Yeah.
That was, and then they were like, "Actually, we can't see Aryelle in the office, so we'll put her somewhere else." And that was our exchange.
And then you did move.
And then I did move, but not to Hollywood.
So piggybacking off of that question, do you think JP is going to be a better boss than Wayne?
Yeah, probably. Sorry, Wayne. It'd be nice not to tiptoe around the office for a change.
He did a lot of yelling.
He did a lot of yelling.
My one of my notes in like early on in the episodes was like, is he ever going to do anything besides yell?
Mm-hmm.
And then as we progressed, he of course did and became a very interesting character. But yeah. So Jimmy, do you think do you have any opinions about JP as a boss?
Yeah, no, I think there's opportunity for him to learn from Wayne's mistakes and sort of fill the gaps a little bit. And the fact that he's not directly related to some of his staff might be better as well.
Nepotism.
I think there's great opportunity to improve the Mountain Bay precinct, Mountain Bay County. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be good. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. He might let Fitzy go, and Fitzy has to go back to run his internet mattress company. I don't know. We'll see.
That does feel like what Fitzy did in a previous career. Yeah.
Mattresses, but online. Yeah.
I don't know. Were they selling mattresses online in 2008?
They were just getting into it.
And they were secondhand, probably.
Yeah, third hand. It was a very niche market. Yeah, and it was like small mattresses. Yeah, what we used to look like in 2008. Yeah.
And he probably strapped it onto his car just with like bungee.
He can't afford a car. No.
Bicycle delivery.
Yeah, exactly. He's a Door Dasher now in Mountain Bay.
Oh no. Yeah, JP, we don't know like that much about him, but he seems like cool and grounded and calculated from the bits of story we get from him. So he seems like he'll be good. I'm not sure where he gets his groundedness from. I wonder if it was like people that are just like a product of their time where therapy wasn't a big thing and, toxic masculinity, all those things. Maybe JP's ahead of the curve on the knowing your emotional intelligence side of things. I don't know.
I think it creates a lot of opportunity for to tell backstories of some of those characters, like JP, and and Rogers and Fitzy, and a lot of other characters. To if we're lucky enough to get a season 2 and we get back on, there's a lot of opportunity to see where those characters came from.
Yeah. I would also be curious to know if our characters have personal investment in the whole revival story, because we don't talk about whether we know people personally who've come back, but we probably do. Yeah, it kind of feels like other people's drama at the moment.
Right.
Yeah, we don't actually specifically hear their opinions on Revivers at all. Like
No,
if
we're following orders and trying to be reasonable, I guess.
So Aryelle, in the flashback episode, Dana lets Jesse Blackdear go. Rogers is the one who finds her doing this and presumably tattles on her. Now the whole town thinks that she's the one who fumbled the case. Do you have any thoughts on that scene or on how that whole dynamic played out?
Yeah, okay. This is super interesting. So I actually talked to Luke about this scene at one point, and I don't know, maybe it doesn't read this way based on what how you're positioning the question, but the idea was that she knows that Dana let Jesse Blackdear go away, but she covers for her and says, "Oh, he evaded." And it's like a moment of her seeing Dana and trusting her instinct and like vouching for her kind of thing. Like Dana might be crazy, but she's usually her actions are usually based on some kind of truth. So I think it's it's a vote of confidence in Dana's abilities. So I think it's the opposite. I think it's maybe the one secret that Rogers has, because she's not corrupt or anything, but she does hold this for Dana and maybe not rat on her. I think she doesn't rat on her. Yeah.
I think covering for a friend in that type of situation isn't necessarily corruption per se.
No, it's loyalty, I think. Yeah, see, it's kind of a noble thing. But I don't think she would do it if she thought Dana was actually wrong and that there wasn't like a good intention behind it. It's not just, oh, she's letting criminals go. It's there's more to this and I want to see where it goes, kind of thing. Yeah.
So as a fan, do you guys have any questions at the end of season 2?
End of season 1.
Season 2 hasn't happened yet. That you would like to, that you would like answered in season 2. Any thoughts?
Why is M still alive? I thought she went back to, her soul and her reunited and she's still around. What the hell?
That's a big one.
I think like what's going to happen with the revivers, like what was the true cause of Revival Day? I know they went into some of what might have caused it, the significance of the water, I guess. Maybe I missed something, but I don't know completely like exactly like why that happened. There's lots of questions. They wrapped up the murder mystery part of season 1, so there's closure there. But there's still lots of story to tell, I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And her therapist being in on.
Yes.
She asked specifically for M, so she must have known about the affair, but did she know about Moore Creek or not? Like, I don't understand her involvement, and we're not supposed to. I think we don't have that many details, but yeah. I'm blanking on every character's name right now.
Nithia.
What was that?
Nithia.
Okay, maybe I've just never said it out loud.
Rogers.
That one's an easy one.
Yeah. Principal, Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World.
So before we get into asking about other projects. Jimmy, you mentioned off air that you had some questions for us. Is there anything specific you wanted to ask us?
Oh my God.
Because you did mention that.
That was like 3 hours ago when we
It was. Time flies.
this is a 9-hour podcast. No, I was really happy to learn that you guys were for some reason, I don't know what it is, like the small town mentality that I thought you guys were from St. John. So how did you guys get involved with this? We're in a private group that I was added to. Stacie added me to it. You guys are presumably like big fans of the property of Revival, of the comics and that. What drew you into this project, and how did you hear about it? And
Well,
I just always need a job. I always need a job, and thankfully I got a job in a terrific show. I'm always looking for a job, whether it's DoorDash or working in a 7-Eleven parking lot, selling tickets to something. But yeah, what drew you into this?
well, we actually didn't really know anything about the comic.
Oh.
And how we ended up getting involved is we basically had screeners for NBC for other shows that we had previously done. And we had noticed Revival was one of those screeners that popped up. So we decided, well, let's watch this first episode and see if this is something that we want to cover. And we were intrigued by the first episode enough to continue talking about the series. And then we fell in love with the series after that. So that's how we got involved in that.
Yeah, and it helped for us to find out where it was filmed, because we actually cover a lot of Nova Scotian television, which I don't know how that happened exactly, but I do know how it happened. It started because we started covering From.
Yes.
Just because it's something we cover a lot of different shows on our podcast. We started with the Quantum Leap revival. And then when that went on hiatus, we decided to cover From, just because it's something we liked. Like you had mentioned, Jimmy, being a horror fan, like we're into horror and sci-fi, and that's kind of our little niche. Then we followed Reed Price from over to Sullivan's Crossing, which is not in our wheelhouse at all. But we were like, let's check it out because of him, because we interviewed him and we're like, yeah, let's go support him. And that did really well on our podcast. So we just kept covering it. And then next thing you know, we're covering everything happening in Nova Scotia. And then it was one of the Nova Scotian actors that I talked to, Eugene Sampung, who mentioned Revival. And he said, oh yeah, that's filmed in New Brunswick. And I was like, I had no idea where that was filmed. I need to check that out. And it was like the same day we got screeners. And I was like, hey, let's watch that first episode. And it's like, wow, this is perfect for us. This is exactly the type of thing we like to talk about. And I'm very glad we did, because it was an amazing season of television. And you mentioned the Facebook group. I always join all the different Facebook groups for whatever shows we're covering, just to like share our content. And there were not any Revival groups yet. So I was like, let me just make one. Yeah. And the next thing I know, the creators are there and the cast are there. And I'm like, what is going on right now? And that provided some amazing opportunities to get to talk to all of you guys.
Love it. Thank you so much. Yeah, for inviting me into that group. And yeah.
All right. So we're out of questions ourselves. But before we go, we want to give you guys a chance to plug any upcoming projects you guys might have. Aryelle, do you want to tell us about anything you're up to now?
I'm currently looking for my next project. I'm doing coachings and auditioning and excited for what's next. So I don't have anything specific to plug at this time, but hopefully soon.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing more of your work for sure.
Thank you.
Jimmy?
Yeah, same for me. Auditioning to anything I'm lucky to come my way. We do have season 2 of a sitcom that's on Bell 5. Community television, Channel 1, east of Winnipeg on the Bell channels, called O'Donnell's. It's I play a chef in a sitcom series about a local pub called O'Donoghue's in real life and in the sitcom. And I also have a series which was just renewed for a season 2 called Jimmy Saves the World. So it's a climate change focused 8-episode series in season 1. It's has a great degree of levity to it, but talking about serious issues. So we're going to be doing a few more episodes of that in the coming months. And just making sure my cat doesn't interrupt any more podcasts. He's staring at me right now.
I think you
That's
should do
good for
every
that.
podcast with your cat, like in your
Well, I'm
arms.
gonna get him right now. I'm gonna get him
Yay!
We
I
end
just
up
need an
with a
excuse to
surprising number of cats on our podcast. I think
Yeah.
always
So-
cats.
So this guy, he's a big boy. Yep. and
Oh, the paws.
Yeah.
He is a big
Adorable.
boy.
I know he's a big boy. He's on a plan. He's on a regimen. He's on a diet plan right now. He's in Jimmy Saves the World as himself.
Aw.
He did all his marks. Yeah, he's getting squeamish now. But yeah, this is Conan.
Conan, don't change. You're perfect as you are.
Well, that's yeah.
Well, we know
That's
who the big draw of this podcast is, Conan, for sure.
yeah.
I think we need to add him to the IMDb listing.
Well,
Yeah, that's a star.
Yeah, he needs publicity right now, and food, and he needs lots of food.
Just make sure you're not beating Gizmo at the same time
Yeah, I know.
after
yeah.
midnight.
Got a little while.
Yeah. He's an
All right.
inanimate subject. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, he loves being on camera, which is why he's not leaving. But yeah.
So as of when we're recording this, no news yet on if Revival is going to be renewed for a second season or not, but we are hopeful. And if it does come back, we hope to see both of you in season 2. That would be amazing. And everybody just go watch Revival. Keep watching. Let's go. Let's get it renewed.
Agreed. Yes, we need to do that.
Totally.
All right. Well,
Guys.
we'd
Yeah.
like to thank you guys for coming on. It was really a lot of fun talking to you two. And we hope to have you back sometime if you're interested.
Of course, it's a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Anytime. Thank you guys so much. I loved every second of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Well, that was a lot of fun talking to Aryelle Morrison and Jimmy MacKinley, Deputy Rogers and Deputy Fitzpatrick of Revival. A lot of great stuff. A lot of fun times there. Hour flew straight by.
It sure did. It went very quickly. I think we need to start telling people we need more than an hour of their time because
Yeah.
an hour goes very fast.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we're gonna be doing a 2-hour interview. I don't know that we can come up with the questions in all cases to, get us through 2 hours, but in some cases,
Everyone we have talked to so far from Revival has been so great. This is really an amazing cast and crew. I'm having so much fun covering this series.
Absolutely. I hope the ride continues.
I really, really hope for season 2. Please, everybody who's watching right now, watch Revival on Peacock. Those are the numbers they're checking. Let it play all day. Let it play over and over and over and over again. There's no shame in that. Play Revival. We need a season 2. I really hope that we don't get like a cancellation before this airs.
That would suck.
We need a season 2. All right. Let's do it. We're here for it. You're here for it if you just sat through an hour interview. So you want a season 2 as well. So tell everybody you know. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your neighbors, get them to watch Revival. Turn it on for your dog while you're at work. Okay. I've done that.
I can attest to that.
No, literally I've done that.
Mm-hmm.
She's watched the whole series a few times, my dog. And let's do it. And also, if you're not in my Facebook group, make sure you join that. Revival Sci-Fi Series Fans is the name of the Facebook group. And a lot of the cast and crew are in that group. So you can come there and hang out and interact with them yourselves and ask your questions. And let's get a season 2.
Absolutely. All right. We'd like to hear from you. What you think of this interview? What you think of the podcast in general and the series? Stacie can be reached at.
I can reach on Twitter, X, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at TVN Coupon Talk.
If you like this video and want to support the channel, the number of ways to do so, you can follow me on Twitter at Core Productions. You can join one of the Korman Productions Facebook pages. You can buy something from the Korman Productions store on Zazzle. You can buy me a copy. You can join the Korman Productions membership starting at 99 cents a month. And of course, you can like, share, and comment on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. This is Dave and Stacie from Korman Productions signing off.